All right, so we'll start today by going over last night's homework, which I'm guessing you probably did pretty good on. I think we did the first one together. A sample was transported by a glacier over 1 million years ago or something like that, right? I just try to do that from the top of my head. Sample was transported by a glacier 1 million years ago, and we had decided yesterday that that was an inference, right? And anybody got an explanation of why that's an inference? How could we word that? How about I do this one, you guys do the rest of them. So I know it's an inference because one, could I see it happen? Like, was I there 1 million years ago watching it? And don't make this an old joke. I'm not that old. No. So I was not there to use my 5 senses to see it. So in the long run, I'm just guessing. There's probably evidence that it was moved by a glacier, but I'm still just guessing. It could have been moved by a Tyrannosaurus Rex or whatever. I don't know. But because it wasn't there, so I'm guessing. So there's 2 types of guesses: an inference or a prediction. Why is this not a prediction? Because it's not about the future. So for the reason, I'm just going to go with it's a guess. How about the next one? Actually, let me ask you this. Did you guys feel pretty confident with this homework? So I could just call on people? No.
Yeah.
I could just call on some people?
Yeah.
All right. A sample is rectangular with sharp angular corners. I did want you to pretend you were holding that sample in your hands or we're looking at it. What'd you get, Desi, what'd you get for that one, the second one down? That is an observation. Who wants to back up for a reason why Desi picked observation for that one? Go ahead, Crisanto. Right. Okay, so it's something you used your 5 senses for. Oh, did I spell that wrong? Is there supposed to be a C? You're going to learn I am a horrible, horrible speller and actually avoid writing as often as possible so that you guys don't call me out on being a terrible speller. All right. Hey, Drake, did you get the next one? The water will become unsafe within the next 5 years. It's the third one down. That is a prediction. Who wants to explain why Drake picked it as a prediction? It's a guess about the future. Virginia, do you have the 4th one down? Some of the snow on the glacier is powdery. Again, remember you were supposed to be standing there in front of the glacier. Yeah, that's an observation. Skylar, why'd she say it was an or don't you know yet? Sorry, I just was I was going with people's names I remembered, sorry. Who wants to try this one? Because now I'm out of names I remember. No, that's not true. No, anybody? No, nobody wants to volunteer? Oh, let me get my list of names. Now I'm just really randomly calling. How about Carter? Do you know what that was? Yeah, just use your 5 senses. Okay, I'll try it one more time. Who wants to volunteer before I call on you? I already heard from you, Crisanto. Thank you, though. Lucas, what you got? Observation or inference or prediction for the sample is 8 centimeters long, 5 centimeters wide, and 3 centimeters high. And to be honest, I think this is the one that they're trying to trick you the most on so far. You got it. It is an observation, but my 5 senses don't tell me that something's 5 centimeters or 3 centimeters. Why is this still an observation? Okay, you're still looking and using an instrument. What?
Prediction.
Oh, we're doing the next one already? Yeah. Number 6 is a prediction. What was the hint there that it was a prediction? Yeah, something about throughout the week and will continue. That is a guess about the future. Now, are meteorologists and weather people, are they really guessing? Kind of. Now, are they just like the same as you and I guessing about the weather? No, they use the weather instruments, which by the way, I don't know if you probably noticed this thing right here. This is a weather station that the app WeatherBug has actually given our school. So if you've ever used the app WeatherBug, you'll notice that you can get your location right down to Pioneer High School. And that's because somewhere on our roof, I don't actually know where they moved it to right now, but somewhere on our roof, WeatherBug gifted us a whole bunch of weather equipment. They didn't do it out of the kindness of their heart. They did it so that they can have more accurate weather reports. But it then gives us a very nice weather station for our classroom. So that's what that is right there, in case you've been wondering. So weather reports aren't complete guesses. They are guesses based on observation used with all the weather instruments that they gave us. All right. I'm going to go a little faster at these. There are many cracks in a glacier. Class, all together, what is that one? Observation. And again, you could see them. The sample is white in color. Everybody. Oh, that was not everybody. That is another observation. And again, you can see it. Meteor impact caused the extinction of the dinosaurs? That's so much better. It's an inference. Why is it an inference? Because you weren't there. So you're guessing. Again, you're using observations. They know they found a meteor impact crater. They know what happens when something big hits the ground. It sends up a big cloud of dust. So they are guessing that that's what caused the extinction of the dinosaurs. Now this one could be interpreted two different ways. I'm not going to have you do this one together. Who wants to volunteer? The rocks in the glacier are different sizes. Crisanto, you want to try that one? Why did you say observation? Yeah, you could see them. Now, did anybody say inference? Nobody did? You did? Why did you say it? I agree, as long as you defend yourself. Right. The rocks are inside the glacier, the way it's written. So if you took it that way and you interpret it as a guess, then I would have accepted that too. You don't have to put both. If you put observation, just go with it. I meant it like you could legit see them, that they were different sizes, but the way it was worded, yeah, inside the glacier, we can't see inside a glacier. So either way is fine with me. How'd you do with 11? What'd you pick? The overall statement is an inference. Did anybody go with observation? The rock is spherical, that part is an observation if you wanted to put it there. But the whole statement itself and must have been transported by a stream, that's a guess. And finally, some parts of the glacier will start melting this spring. Max, do you have any idea if that's an observation, inference, or prediction, the very last one? You're Max. Darn it, you're not Max. You're Max. Sorry, good, it is a prediction. So not Max, but Avery. Do you know why you picked prediction? Yes, in the spring, that's about the future. Darn, I'm so confident. I was learning some names and I just totally didn't. How'd you guys do? Decent? There was about, they were each worth, if this was a quiz, they would have been each worth about 10, little less than 10 each, like maybe 8 if I did the math correctly, around there. Did you do okay? All right, turn to back a page to page 3. I just want to do a little bit more practicing with these observation, inferences, and predictions. So I have room for 3 of them there, 3 of each. Let's, I guess for starters, we'll just stick with 3. So what I want to do is, let's start with this picture. Can you guys make 3 observations? Actually, let's start with just observations. Guys, again, what is an observation? Saying obvious things about the picture. Things that use your 5 senses. You can see it, Obviously, you're not smelling, tasting, hearing, or touching this picture, so you guys just kind of gotta go by sense of sight here. Give me 3 observations, write it down. I'm gonna come over and look over your shoulders, make sure people are getting the general gist of this stuff. If you can't get 3, give me at least 2. All right, I'm looking, so far, this half of the room at least has 2 or 3. Who wants to get, actually, no, I'm just gonna, how about, give me 1. There is a baby, done. Give me another one. There are 3 people, done. 1 more, Christopher, you got 1 more? 3 people, there is a baby. Huh?
Might be a sister.
Is that something you can see from this picture? No, so you gotta keep it more simple. What do you think? There is windows, perfect. So reread yours, double check. So like Chris's was a good statement, but it wasn't something you could just tell from here. So double check with your answers. Can you just flat out see there is a baby, there are 3 people, there are windows. I saw a bunch of people, weird faces. There's weird faces. Any more? Anybody want to share one that you just thought was a real good one? Green in the background. There's green wall. Perfect. All right. Inference. How is an inference different? What is an inference then? Somebody, if you need to flip back, read back. It's a guess. Guess based on what you see. So again, nothing about cats in this picture. Don't tell me Mrs. Ritz likes cats. You can't tell it from this picture. Has to be something that you think could be true from looking at this picture. Doesn't have to be right, just something you could guess from this picture. Would it help if I turn the lights off? Good, I'm gonna come look over your shoulders. Just anything like, if you have to say it might be, that would be something that would start an inference off. Abby, did you have an inference? Right, Abby? Go ahead, give me an inference, Abby. These could be friends, could be relatives. Absolutely. That's a guess. So it goes with what Christopher said earlier, when Christopher said the girl, that's their sister or something like that. That's a guess. Could be a friend, could be a sister, could be an aunt, you don't know. But if you, makes sense, from this picture, that could be a sister. Who else wants to try? Go for it. Are you Luke or Connor? Okay, right, you're Connor? Okay, what? Baby is sad. Virginia, you had a different answer though for the baby, right? The baby's hungry. Do you have little siblings or babysit? Okay, most of us know when babies start crying at that age, they're either sad or hungry. Most likely they're hungry. I also cry when I'm sad or hungry, so it's understandable. Anybody else got another good one that you just want to share? They might be in a restaurant, and we were in a restaurant, yes. All right, what about a prediction? How is a prediction different?
What happens?
Guess about what's going to happen in the future. Remember, some keywords for guesses are, or about for predictions, I mean, I'm sorry, it's gonna happen or something will happen. Anything that's specifically going to happen in, could be today, could be tomorrow, could be a minute from now. Perfect. Something that's going to be happy about it. Miley, you got one? Do you have a prediction? The baby will get food. Perfect. Something that will happen to the baby will get food. Let me have it, Brody, do you have one? What do you think is about to happen to anything in this picture? What do you think could happen in a few minutes? No? Okay. Somebody else want to try? Crisanto, you had your hand up first. Go for it.
They may leave the building.
They may leave the building. Is that literally what you're gonna say?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, somebody else, give me another one. Anybody.
Baby stops crying.
The baby stops crying. Yeah, the baby's gonna stop crying. The girl's gonna drop the baby. Mrs. Ritz will take the baby from the girl. Any of that. Any idea? So those were good, guys. So just to introduce some more parts of my family, obviously that's me. That is my daughter Grace, and this is our good friend Emmett. And Emmett started crying the second Grace took him, so not sure what's going on there. Let's try one more. In a different box. Doesn't matter which way you go, just pick one. Give me at least 2 observations, 2 inferences, 2 predictions. I'm gonna let you just go for it all right away. Yeah. Whichever floats your boat. Ooh. I know, freedom. Can't handle freedom.
How do you know it's the ocean?
Exactly. How do we know this is the ocean? You can't say that's the ocean. You said water for observations, is what we're talking about? Absolutely. So hint, did you put, there is the ocean for an observation? It can't be an observation because you don't know if that's the ocean or Lake Erie or Lake Ontario or what. Perfect observation. Can you make me that? So go ahead and do all 3 of them, observations, inferences, and predictions. We'll move on a little faster here. Do you have at least 2 of each or not yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. 2 of each. If you are stuck on 3, just skip to 2. Who's got an observation you want to share?
Water.
Water. There is water. Done. There is sand. There's person. There are clouds. Sky. Double check your observations. Are they all just something you can flat out see in the picture? No thinking, no guessing required. Let's move on then to inferences. So a guess about this picture. We want to guess about this picture. One inference. It's the ocean. I mean, we kind of already talked about that. We don't know what this is. This is the ocean. It's in fact, it's the Pacific Ocean. So we were at the Pacific Ocean when I took the picture, but you don't know that from the picture, so it is a guess. Any more guesses? Who do you think the girl is? Okay, that could be a guess for you guys. So you think this might be Mrs. Ritz's kid. Any more guesses?
Jumping.
Are you guys all able to do a jump like that? Who can do jumps like that? What are you guessing about her? Okay, so you could guess she's a gymnast or a cheerleader or a dancer. All of those things are guesses. Any more guesses? We got some good ones.
What happy do you want?
Yeah, she's happy. That's a good guess. People don't leap around like that. Usually if they are feeling sad, that's a good guess. How about a prediction, something that's going to happen? Chris, you have a good one? Or Christopher, sorry. The waves will start crashing, or the waves will hit the beach, something like that. Yep. I saw a bunch of you write she will fall. That's a guess about what's going to happen. That's a good one. Yeah, there could be a tsunami. We don't know what's coming next. Yeah. I mean, that's a little extreme, but sure. She could fall in the water. Is that what you said?
Like swimming.
She could go she could go home, she could go swimming, she could go to dinner. So yes, this is my daughter, this is my younger one, she's in 8th grade. They are both competitive gymnasts and can do crazy stuff that most people can't. There's another one of her. So Mallory is more of the trickster than Grace. So yeah, she's completely upside down. She would be horrified, by the way, if I showed you this picture, because her back leg is bent and she would be absolutely horrified if I showed you this. This one is not that pretty either, but it is pretty impressive. And finally, one last picture. Let's just talk about this one. Let's just do this one. Who has an observation that you see in this picture?
There's a dog.
There's a dog. There are people.
Rocks.
There are rocks.
Sticks.
There's sticks. Oh, you can't see water from this picture.
Leaves.
There's leaves or
Rocks.
roots or something, yep. You could, what are you gonna say about the dog's face? Can we say that as an observation? Okay, but
It's
so what makes you think this dog's happy? Okay, the dog has a smirk on its face. That's an observation, but then giving it emotion, that's a guess. Because to be honest with you, this dog was absolutely terrified. So this is my dog, Charlie, not the same one I showed you yesterday. Charlie is a German pinscher, so she's a full-grown Doberman would be about this tall, a miniature pinscher is about this tall, a German pinscher is in between the two, but it looks just like a Doberman. And I was standing in the water, and I was trying to get her to come in the water, and she was begging me not to, like legit. Look at those puppy dog eyes. Like she was begging me, don't put me in the water. This was several years ago. You might notice that Grace looks a lot younger in this picture, and well, you can't see Mallory, but I promise that's her back there. So I'd like to do this lesson not only to do observation, inference, prediction, but to let you know a little bit about myself. So there, we haven't met, but you've seen my husband, my 2 dogs, one now, and then both my girls. So that is our lesson on observation, inference, prediction. What time do you guys get out? 28. That will be perfect amount of time to skip ahead to page 6, it looks like.
Yeah.
You guys learned scientific notation a long time ago in math class, I'm guessing. You may have used it in science since then. I don't really teach scientific notation. I will quickly review it with you guys. So as the reading says at the top, some numbers are just too big and some numbers are just too small. Scientific notation review. Scientific notation is a way of expressing numbers that are too large or too small to be conveniently written in decimal form. A negative exponent shows that the decimal is moved that many places to the left, and a positive exponent shows that that decimal is moved that many places to the right. Does this sound familiar to you guys when you see numbers written in scientific notation, like right here, 5.7 times 10 to the third, or 1.3 times 10 to the ninth? You know, you've seen that before, right? Sounds familiar? Just got to move the decimal point that many places to the right or left. So this one's already been done with for you. In this number, 65 million, where is the decimal point? Because there isn't one written. All the way to the right. So when there is no decimal point, I think you should all know that that means the decimal is here. And we need to get it so that it is one number at the front. So we need the decimal point here. So we need to get from here to here, and you just need to count how many spaces over. And in this case, we're going to the left. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 places we need to move the decimal point. So you take that number, you make it 6.5 times 10 to the 7. Let's do one more together. We got 93 million miles to the sun. Again, where is the decimal point in 93 million? All the way to the end. Where do we want to put it? Between the 9 and the 3. And we need to count how many places over. When you count, you're not counting the numbers in between. You're counting where the decimal would go. So that would be, here's one spot there, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So again, that one is going to be 9.3 times 10 to the 7. So what I think I'm going to do is have you guys just let loose on the rest of this paper. If you finish it, then you have no homework. If you don't finish it, you got to finish up the scientific notation for homework. Sound good? All right, so I'll just write that up on the board. If you haven't turned in your paperwork yet, make sure those papers get turned in.